It has been 2 years since the war in Gaza began, a conflict that has claimed thousands of lives and left entire neighborhoods in ruins. As indirect talks resume between Israel and Hamas, all eyes turn once again to Cairo, where Egyptian mediators are trying to broker an elusive ceasefire. The stakes could hardly be higher. A senior Hamas delegation has arrived in Egypt, hoping to break a deadlock that has cost civilians on both sides dearly. Speaking in a televised address, Hamas official Fawzi Barhoum tried to project a message of determination and defiance. The Al-Aqsa flood on October 7th was a historic response to liquidation conspiracies against the Palestinian cause. It was not merely a battle revealed by the delusional occupation army, but a major turning point through which the process of exposing, criminalizing, and isolating the Zionist occupation began.
بدأت بفضها عملية فضح وتجريم وعز الاحتلال الصهيوني.
Fawzi Barhoum, Arabic translated. The Al-Aqsa flood on October 7th was a historic response to liquidation conspiracies against the Palestinian cause. It was not merely a battle revealed by the delusional occupation army, but a major turning point through which the process of exposing, criminalizing, and isolating the Zionist occupation began. Those words refer to the deadly October 7th attacks on Israel 2 years ago. Israeli officials say 1,219 people were killed that day, the deadliest single assault in the country's modern history. For Hamas, however, Barhoum described it as a historic response, a framing that continues to deepen the gulf between the warring sides. The war that followed has devastated Gaza's already fragile infrastructure. The delegation of the movement participating in the current negotiations in Egypt seeks to surmount all obstacles to achieving an agreement that fulfills the aspirations of our people in Gaza. According to humanitarian agencies, tens of thousands have been killed or injured, and nearly 2/3 of Gaza's population has been displaced. Efforts at peace have faltered repeatedly, but this week's renewed talks in Cairo raise fresh, if fragile, hopes. Barhoum acknowledged the enormity of the challenge, but said his side is determined to move forward. Fawzi Barhoum, Arabic translated. The delegation of the movement participating in the current negotiations in Egypt seeks to surmount all obstacles to achieving an agreement that fulfills the aspirations of our people in Gaza. That comment signals a rare note of flexibility from the Hamas leadership, though many observers remain cautious. Previous rounds of talks have collapsed over core disputes: the fate of Israeli hostages, the disarmament of Hamas, and the reconstruction of Gaza under international supervision. Egypt has been at the heart of almost every truce effort since the conflict began. Officials in Cairo say the talks now hinge on 3 priorities: a long-term ceasefire to stop the bloodshed, a staged release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, a framework for Gaza's governance and reconstruction. For the families of both hostages and prisoners, the negotiations are about immediate human lives. Israeli officials insist that any deal must begin with the release of the remaining hostages, while Hamas has tied progress to lifting Israel's blockade and easing humanitarian access. International aid agencies warn that without a sustained ceasefire and guaranteed access for relief operations, Gaza's humanitarian catastrophe will only deepen, threatening not just the fragile talks, but also regional stability. The wounds of the October 7th attacks remain raw in Israel. Many Israelis say they will not accept a truce that leaves Hamas in power, while in Gaza, civilians demand an end to airstrikes and a return to normal life. Diplomatic sources say the United States is quietly backing Egypt's efforts, though no American plan has been formally announced in this round. Regional powers like Qatar and Turkey are also maintaining indirect channels to both parties. For now, the world watches and waits as Hamas claims it is ready to surmount all obstacles. But Israel insists that any ceasefire must guarantee its security. The latest talks are still in their early stages. Whether they bring a breakthrough or simply another round of recriminations will depend on the willingness of both sides to compromise after years of bitter conflict. In the words of many residents in Gaza and southern Israel, enough of war. We need peace.